What's up, guys? In today's episode, I'm gonna be talking about how do I teach myself how to do all the jobs that I do in this handyman business. For those of you guys new to my channel, I am the YouTube handyman. I can do everything. And I started my business without any experience, and since day one, all the jobs, hundreds of jobs over the years, believe it or not, most of them I did for the first time. And when I got done, the customer could not even tell the difference. So, I'm going to tell you how in the world did I manage to do that. So, let's get started. So, the reason I started this business is because I saw the potential. I saw the money and I followed it. I went for it. Just to give you a backstory, I was not a handyman. I never been a handyman. I didn't grow up building things. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't go to trade school. I literally started from nothing, from scratch. Just going out there and getting it done. Let me tell you what motivated me to start this business. I had a water leak in my kitchen, and after I got a quote from a contractor to redo my entire kitchen, it was like $25,000. This was many years ago, when things were actually cheaper. So I was like, no way I'm paying $25,000. So what I decided to do was to break off the kitchen remodel into different phases. Drywall, cabinets, painting, and all that things. So what I did is I tried finding people myself to do the various projects for the kitchen. And one thing that I quickly realized is, for one, I used to be very cheap because I did not understand this industry. So I was trying to find the cheapest guy out there, and I can tell you I had a really hard time because nobody showed up. After a while, I actually gave up trying to find somebody cheap. So it got to a point where I decided to just pay whatever they were charging just to get the things done. And even then, people were not showing up, and it was very hard for somebody to even give me a call back. And not even a call back, I was actually texting people. A lot of them wouldn't even text back. I had several appointments where the day of the appointment, they were supposed to show up. I would get a text and they'll be like, oh, I'm sick, I can't make it today. So I just got sick and tired, and I started just researching the things myself and doing it myself. And finally, I met one guy. There was one thing that I really did not want to do, and it was the recessed lights in my kitchen, because I was still afraid of trying it out. That was the main reason why. And so I found this veteran guy who came over to my house, installed 7 recessed lights, and he added another switch. And I remember at the time he charged me $450. And it took him 2 days to get the job done. At the time I thought that was expensive, but you know what? It was a fellow veteran. He was honest, and I didn't mind paying him. But I did think that it was expensive. So I can tell you now, I wouldn't even charge $450. That was a bargain. I wouldn't even do it for twice as much. That job was easily worth over $1,000. But after watching him do the work, I was like, I can do that. And I did. So a few months went by, and then I'm like, you know what? You only live once. I'm going to go ahead and try it out. So I made up a quick Craigslist ad, and I posted it. It was 11 at night. I will never forget this. And then I went to bed. By 6 in the morning the next day, my phone started ringing non-stop, and it didn't stop ringing for many years until last year, when the economy took a downturn, and obviously, people are struggling now. But yeah, so I went for it. And I remember after about a year of doing the handyman work, I texted this veteran guy who installed my lights in the kitchen, and I told him, hey dude, I just wanted to thank you for motivating me to start this business. And he was like shocked, because I literally told him that he was the reason why I started this business, and the reason why I'm successful. I saw the potential. If I was a homeowner trying to find people to work at my house, and it got to a point where I didn't care how much, as long as the work got done, and even then I still couldn't find people, imagine what everybody else is going through. And that's exactly what I was going through my head, and I was not wrong. So I started this without any experience. Obviously, I didn't start, freaking installing cabinets and doing tiling, all kinds of, ground molding or anything like that. Think complicated things. I started, doing the easy stuff. Changing ceiling fans, changing faucets, painting, changing toilets, simple things. But even then, all those jobs I did for the first time. Now, let me explain to you how do I teach myself how to do everything by telling you my first job ever as a handyman. So I got a text message in the weekend. This guy wanted a TV mounted on a wall. But it wasn't a regular TV. It was an actual fireplace. An electric fireplace. So it was a built-out fireplace. And it was tiled. So he wanted a TV mounted on this tiled fireplace. So I gave him an estimate, and if you want to find out how much that was and how I came up with that price, well, stick to the end of the video. And then what I will do at the beginning is I will give myself several days in between appointments so that I could do research, learn the job, build up the confidence mainly. Not so much learn the job. Yes, that was part of it, but mainly get over the fear of trying something out for the first time. So he texted it in the weekend, and I gave me an entire week for that job. So I didn't book that appointment until the following week, Monday. Now let me tell you what I did for that entire week. I watched days worth of YouTube videos of other people installing TVs on a wall. Days! I'm not kidding you guys. Days! That's exactly what I did every single day for hours and hours and hours until there were no more videos to watch. But then, I didn't just watch videos about people installing TVs on a wall. I also watched videos on how people build fireplaces, because I needed to understand what in the world I was going to be putting screws into. So not only did I learn how to mount TVs on walls, every kind of wall, I also learned how to frame a fireplace. But not only did I learn how to frame a fireplace, I also learned everything about tiles. I learned about ceramic tiles, I learned about composite tiles, I learned that it's harder to drill through composite tiles, so you need other drill bits. I also learned about all the types of drill bits that you use on tiles out there. But there was also an outlet there, so I learned how to wire outlets. I learned how to run wires down the wall. Everything that was involved with mounting that TV on that wall, I researched it for the entire week. Everything. Tips and tricks of every single thing, like drilling through the grout line so you don't crack the tiles, like don't drill at the edge of the tile because that may crack the tile, like do not use the hammer function on your drill because that may crack the tile. I literally researched everything. So that gave me the confidence to actually do the job. So on the day that I showed up to do the job, it was early in the morning, I forget what time, and then I showed up, and I remember clearly it took me 4 hours to mount that TV on that wall. 4 hours. And I remember I broke a sweat because I was so meticulous about drilling through those stupid tiles. I did not want to crack the tiles, because if I did, I didn't know how to freaking fix it. Well, actually, I didn't know because I researched it, because I researched everything anyways. But I didn't want to do it because I was scared, because if I broke something, I would have had to fix it right away, and I wouldn't have had time to, do a little more research and build up the confidence to actually, fix the problem. But anyways, took me 4 hours. And I got lucky. I found the stud behind the tile. I even researched how to find studs behind tiles, and I got the job done. The customer was happy. And it was funny, I will never forget this. He told me that he actually went through several people. And he even had people come over to his house to give him an estimate in person to mount that TV on a wall. Because this was not a regular wall, it was a tiled wall. And a lot of the people, once they showed up to give him an estimate and then he agreed, with the price, they never showed up. They will never reply back. And I was the only one that actually replied back and showed up. So once I got done with that job, I got paid. I charged them $150. How did I come up with that price? Well, I went online to HomeWise website and I checked, what's the average people pay to mount that TV on a wall. I think at the time it was $75. So I decided to charge, $150 because it was tile and it was going to take a little longer. That was the first job ever I did as a handyman. So the guy was happy. He paid me. When I left, one of the things that I love about this handyman business is the reward you get. I'm not talking about money. Money is great because you get paid when you get done with the job. So you get paid daily, several times a week because you're going to be doing several jobs during the week. But the feeling of accomplishment. Imagine back in the day when you were in school and there was a test that, super important. And you studied for that test, for weeks, months, and you finally pass. You know that feeling you get of accomplishment? That you accomplished something that you thought it was impossible. The feeling you get is priceless. And I get that feeling every single time that I do a job for the first time that I thought I could not do. That feeling, it's worth a lot more than any money that I get for that specific job. It's like a rush feeling of accomplishment. It's indescribable. And that's exactly why I love doing this work. But that is how I taught myself how to do all the jobs that I've ever done. I will give myself plenty of time in between appointments to research the job, build up the confidence, and then go do it. Hundreds of jobs. Every single job that I have ever done in this business, at one point or another, I did for the first time. Installing cabinets on a wall, doing crown, baseboards, painting, roofing, tile, backsplash, counters. Everything that I have done for the first time, and I taught myself how to do everything. Now let's talk about what if. Because I get a lot of non-believers out there. A lot of people that say, Handyman, you need to go out there, earn your stripes, Handyman, work for somebody else. Make somebody else money. Get some experience and then go on your own. And for those people, let me explain something to you. By trade, I am a medic. I went to college. Do you think when I got out of college, I was a freaking expert? No, I was not. I can tell you all the experience that I learned and made me a good medic. I learned on the job, not in school. The first time I ever intubated somebody, I was not a freaking expert. The first time I gave somebody a freaking chest tube, I was not a freaking expert. The first time I sutured somebody, I was not a freaking expert. The first time I gave somebody an IV, I was not an expert. The difference between an expert and somebody who's just starting to learn something is how fast they can get it done. If you pay attention to detail and you have patience, you will make it. It may take you a little longer if it's the first time you're doing something, but you are going to be able to get it done. Because if I did it, this freaking handyman right here talking to you right now on YouTube did it, so can you. And that is the difference between me and everybody else out there. I'm not afraid. If I see something, I freaking do it. A lot of people out there say, oh, that's not fair to your customers, handyman. Learning on the job, ripping your customers off. Well, check this out, guys. I don't mess anything up. I'm not perfect. Not everything will be 100%. But I can tell you all my customers are happy with the work that I do. The only difference when I do something for the first time is it may take me a little longer than somebody that is an expert. That's it. I pay attention to detail, and when I get done with the work, customers cannot even tell the difference. I'm not messing anything up. And even if I worked for somebody else, if I went to a plumbing company, an electric company, or construction, whatever, and I was doing all these jobs for the first time, whose houses do you think I'll be working at for the first time? The same type of customers I'm working for right now. The only difference would be there will be probably somebody else there watching me to make sure I do the right thing. I don't need to be babysitted. I can do my own research and I can make sure myself that the job is done right. But even if I worked for somebody else, I would still be doing all these jobs for the first time at somebody else's houses while making somebody else money. So instead of making somebody else money, I'll make myself money. And I get to practice on my customers' houses. Now, I do have plan B. I have plan C as well. And I always had those plans because that's what gave me peace of mind. Because I didn't always have this confidence. It takes time to build up this type of confidence. So when I did a job for the first time, let's say I messed it up to the point where I could not fix it myself. Plan B was to actually hire somebody, a professional, to fix it, to do the job right. I will tell the customer, hey, I'm gonna need more time to finish this job, and then I will go hire somebody, and out of pocket, even if it costs me more than the job itself, I will pay for it to get the job done right. Has that ever happened? Not once in all these years I'm being a handyman. Now, since I got my license and I became a professional handyman, plan C is I have insurance. I have a bond too. But it will never come down to the point where I will have to go through insurance or the customer would have to use my bond to fix a mistake at their house. Because I will never let it happen. I will never let it get to that point. I would rather lose every penny that I have in the bank to fix a mistake I made than to go through insurance or get a negative review or have a dissatisfied customer. I see guys on YouTube all the time, you know, they're proud. Like, I don't know, like they have this pride to say out loud that, you know, they're not afraid to tell their customers that they're not able to do something. They're proud to say that. And then they recommend other people to their customers to go do that type of work. I understand that mentality if it's a job that you don't want to do yourself. Like, I hate doing tiles. Can I do it? Yeah, I can. But I hate doing it. That will be the only time that I would tell a customer, hey, I don't do whole houses. Because I don't want to be on my knees for freaking days, breaking my back to lay tile, making the same kind of money that I can make doing other type of work that is not as physically demanding. What I'm trying to get at is, if you don't try to do something, how in the world are you going to learn? How? Do you think I knew how to do drywall, how to tile, how to install toilets, how to do lights, how to do crown, how to do baseboards, how to install cabinets, how to do all the jobs that I do in this handyman business? No, I did not. I taught myself how to do all that stuff. Did I tell the customer that was the first time I was doing something? Of course not. Are you stupid? If somebody told you, oh, this is my first time doing something, if you trust me, if you want to take a chance with me, I can do it. You know, I'll give you a break. But you know what? If you want to take a chance with me, you know, it's up to you. If I mess it up, it's your fault because you're hiring me. Do you think the customer is going to freaking hire you? Come on, don't be stupid. Seriously. No, I wouldn't hire somebody like that. For one, they don't have any confidence in themselves. So, most likely they're gonna. So, anytime I talk to a customer, and let's say it's something I do for the first time, which is hardly anything anymore, I just book the appointment, I give the customer an estimate, and they hire me, and I get it done. Simple as that. But handyman, you're ripping your customers off. Shut up. Seriously. You're out there struggling, you don't got any money to pay your bills, and here you're telling me that I'm ripping my customers off for doing quality work and making money at the same time and learning something while you're just sitting on your ass judging other people, struggling to pay your bills. Get out of here. That's a mentality that's going to keep you right where you're at. But anyways, guys, that's it. That's how I actually started this business. Obviously, I started with the easiest stuff. And then as I built up more confidence, I ventured into more complicated things. Nowadays, I do a lot of roof jobs. A lot of people are scared of doing roofing. I'm not scared of doing roofing because I do good work. I guaranteed all my roof leak repairs for 5 years. I am the only one in my area that will actually do that. 5 freaking years. You know why? Because I know how to fix a roof leak and I do good work. I don't take shortcuts, and I treat my customers' houses like my own house. And people see that, and I can tell you, karma, what goes around, comes around. So I try to stay good on the good side of karma, and I do good work. But yeah, so, and this mentality, guys, applies to everything in life, not just being a handyman or doing construction. This applies to everything in this world. Everything. If you think a doctor coming out of freaking medical school is an expert and you trust your life to that doctor, well, think again. Most of their experience comes from actually working at a hospital. On hands experience. I worked in a hospital. I know what I'm talking about. And if you're in the medical field, you know exactly what I'm saying. So my recommendation for you is, for one, you need to get rid of that fear that you cannot do something. Some things may look challenging, but I can guarantee you once you actually start doing them, they're not really that hard. The only hard thing about this business for me is physically. You're going to be lifting heavy things, and I got a bad shoulder, my back hurts, my knees hurt, my everything hurts. I know I'm not going to be able to do this forever, but you know what? That's not going to stop me. You only live once. Once I get older, what's the point? Everything's going to hurt anyway. So may as well take advantage of it right now while I can. As always, guys, if you like the video, don't forget to like it. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? And as always, I will see you next time.